Hey everybody. So again, I keep saying this is gonna be the last one before I stop, but I went to the restroom actually in between shooting a few of these, and I saw the minoxidil I had left out, and well, actually, this is an old one. I got a newer one from someone else, which I'm gonna tie into this later. So there will be a shameless plug, but I mean, feel free to skip it or whatever. But one thing I wanted to touch on, which I think was pretty cool, and which actually is pretty neat in the sense that you can do this, is earlier this morning I had to shave, which, I mean, most dudes, that's a given. Even some individuals moving from one lifestyle to another, or people transitioning from one gender to another, might also face the same issue with facial hair. But for me, that wasn't actually the case insofar that I didn't start getting stubble until I was 20. I was like 19 and I had like a few hairs here and a few here. I just never had the ability to grow a beard. And what changed that was not the introductions of SARMs or, taking bolus amounts of testosterone. Trust me, like, even with all that it involved, I would just barely get like a mustache. But what did actually genuinely benefit me to grow a beard, and I have a few pictures here where I'm just gonna focus solely on my face for the most part because, like right around COVID-19, when this initially happened in like March, I figured I'm not really gonna see anybody. Like we're all working from home. I'm gonna try to grow a beard. So I outlined a few things I was going to try for myself that did work, and then I had a few friends do the same thing, and it worked for them. And I had a few other people and like a few groups that I had tried, and they actually had incredibly fast results, faster than I did. So what I would do is every single day I would wake up, I would wash my face with hot water, not scalding hot, but hot enough to open up my pores. And I would take this, and if you don't know what this is just an Amazon generic derma roller. Don't press hard enough to make you bleed, but you just kind of roll it to stimulate blood flow to your face. And I would roll it across my face, both ways, up and down. And I would do that for, I think I did like one song, which would be anywhere from like 3 minutes to like 4 to 5 minutes. And whenever that song was done, I would stop. But I would just go through this pattern up and down, side by side, around my mustache even, and I would do that one day, and then the next day, what I would do is I would take my minoxidil, and one thing I learned halfway through, which I think is why I was getting slower results from other people, is I would rub it in, and you shouldn't do that if you have the foam. If you have the foam, what you need to do is take the amount and then just apply it to your face or the area where, if you know it's patchy and you don't have anything here and you want this to connect, apply it there. If you need to fill out your cheek area because you just kind of have like the little jock strap, apply it there. Let it sit and dissolve. It is especially important. There, I saw a few pieces of the literature saying that rubbing it in will make it a little bit more ineffective. So that's what I started doing. I just would sit it on my face, and I would wait 10 full minutes. I would have like a little timer. After 10 minutes, most of the foam would be gone, but in that case, I would just pat it in and then call it a day. But if you're doing like your morning routine, I would say, wash your face, dermaroll one day, 3 to 5 minutes, and then the next day, while you're like brushing your teeth, put the minoxidil foam on your face and let it sit. And for me, it took roughly like 3 to 4 months to notice like a fullness and new hair growth. But I've had some friends within like 2 weeks of the minoxidil and the dermaroller tandem combination, day on and in between, doing that consistently, they saw fairly fast results. And it was like by the like 1 month frame, they started to notice that they had connection here. And I've had a few people who just could never actually grow a beard with that method of applying. Like, yeah, I did the minoxidil thing, it didn't work. Here's this. I did like this beard oil thing and it didn't really work. It was kind of a scam. Or, I have a beard, but I wanted it to be thicker and like, this stuff was supposed to help, but like it just made it like clumpier. This thing is pretty great. And I'll show you the difference um, of like, there's going to be one picture and it'll be me at like 20, and then there'll be one of me last year, like halfway during the COVID epidemic, where it was just like a lot thicker and fuller. And then there was a period where I just didn't like shave at all for like a month, and it was like pretty full. So I'm gonna throw this up here. But yeah, so I don't know, I'll try to get like a thumbnail or something where it's just like, I don't know, should I look jacked? I should try to like look jacked. So, how do you like look? Fuck do I look? Should I like do like one of these stupid things or it's gonna fall. It fell. Whatever. I don't know what the best course. I'm just gonna leave that there. I don't know what the best course of action for that is. I'll probably just like make an actual thumbnail where it's like, I look really huge and then I just have those two there. Um, but yeah, also if you don't know where to get either of these things or just in general hair loss stuff, um, I got that bottle of minoxidil at CVS or Walgreens for like 11 bucks. This Dermaroller was like $9 on Amazon. You can go to like CVS, Rite Aid will have minoxidil typically in stock. There are some prescription grade strength ones that are like, I believe those ones are like 6 or 10% to stimulate hair growth there. But aside from those things, if you're generally interested in hair loss prevention or hair regrowth, I have an affiliate link to minoxidilmax.com. It will be left in the description here as well as on the accompanying blog post on mindlesseasy.com. So Minoxidil Max is pretty neat in that they're literally like this huge warehouse full of like all of these products and services for hair loss. They have things like topical spiralactone. They have as well as formulations for things like minoxidil. They have minoxidil and finasteride. They have a finasteride minoxidil and PG oil based solution. They also have one with I think retinoic acid and caffeine as well. So you can kind of get everything bundled together. And the thing that really sold me and that I wasn't really even looking for, because obviously I knew where to get minoxidil. I know where to get finasteride, dutasteride, and if I wanted like Avodart, I could get it. But what they had that I didn't find much elsewhere is they had RU58841, which is a research chemical for stimulating regrowth of hair loss, which I have a few buddies use. But some of them are having issues with a previous person that I personally used and they had used before. Um, so when I saw that not only did this place have RU58841, but they also had things like finasteride, they had minoxidil, they had the Dermaroller, they have a great ketoconazole shampoo actually, which to me like blows my mind because there's some ketoconazole based and anti-DHT shampoos, but they have things like emu oil. They're not vegan friendly from like the animal fats and like some of the glycerol. So when I saw that they didn't have the emu oil in their shampoo, I was very happy to see that. Um, for me, it's kind of like a no-brainer. Where if I want to get my minoxidil, my Dermaroller, my finasteride, and like RU58841, or if I'm just recommending it to somebody, and I don't want to say, hey, go to your Walgreens, get this, it's 11 bucks, then go on Amazon, get this, and then go to this website and get this. It's a one-stop shop sort of thing, and for that you will pay a premium, but the products are good. The service there is great. If you have any questions, I mean, shoot out to their customer support. It takes them like a day to get back to you if they don't like immediately get back the same day. If you shoot them an email before like 5 p.m., like I think it's EST, which is my time, which is pretty great. Um, and alongside of that too, if you're curious about like the actual products, one cool thing is go to that affiliate link and then go to the products. At the very bottom of the page, you should see sample products. So they'll let you take like any one of the products you're interested in, except for the 58841. You can't get the RU there for free. But if you want to try out their minoxidil, or you want to try out the PGE 400 oil, or some of the oils that don't have PGE, like the solutions, because you have the genetic predisposition to metabolize it into an irritant. They have some with or without, and they label it where it says, this one has PG 400, this one doesn't. Incredible. Like you could just go through the chart and say, hey, okay, if you have these sort of things, or you're facing the need to have finasteride with topical application of your minoxidil, this is bundled together for you. You take the dropper, you put it on your scalp, and you do all this stuff, and done. Now, again, it goes without saying that I am not a medical doctor. I am not a gynecologist. I'm not an obstetrician. I'm not an endocrinologist. If you're doing any of these, I'm assuming that you've seen your dermatologist, your gynecologist, or whoever doing whatever, and that they've mentioned that this is an appropriate tailoring to your suitable lifestyle, and that this video is being presented to you solely for informational purposes. And if you have any other questions or concerns, feel free to leave them down in the comment section below. Feel free to check out my blog, BehindThisEasy.com, where I talk about these things a little bit more in depth. Sometimes I'll go ahead and cite the things in the description here, or I'll put them all in the blog where it's a little bit more comprehensive. Except for the supplement profiles. Supplement profiles are just kind of a general overview of these topics of information to make this easy for everybody who wants to access it. Alongside of this, if you have any questions, you want to email me, you don't want to leave it on a public forum, feel free to use my email. It is damon@BehindThisEasy.com. You can find the contact me form on my website, or feel free to just message me personally on Instagram. I try to get back to all my messages on Instagram. I don't get back to you in a day. Just go ahead, flip me a follow, and say, hey, this is XYZ. I saw your video on an elemental P topic, and I just wanted to get a little bit more information or clarification on this. Could you provide more information, or where did you find this? Due to the fact that some of my things do come from books, some of these are anecdotal experiences, so I will try to clarify that as best as I can. But I do genuinely recommend that if you're finding these on YouTube, you do leave a comment down below to help other people have the same question. A lot of people do just lurk on this information, and they don't really contribute much to the conversation, which is perfectly fine. I do that a lot myself, and I'm going to quit talking really fast because I'm not doing a shameless plug anymore. But yeah, honestly, like, sometimes I'll just lurk for the information myself, and I don't contribute much because someone else already answered it, and I don't need to add on further, or my comments or questions could potentially, I feel, throw someone else off, because if they clarify something and I feel like that clarification is wrong, I don't like to undermine authority insofar that it's not like super pertinent that the information get out there regardless. If someone's like, oh yeah, just take your creatine every single day, it doesn't really matter how much or how frequently, I don't really care. Like, that's just good advice. Take creatine every day. If you're not very dose specific, it doesn't matter. But if someone's like, yeah, just take like fucking 30 Tylenol a day and it'll really like help with your pain relief, like, that's sometime where hey, it's not a good idea. But just in general, if you have any questions, I strongly encourage you to leave them on the public forum. That way, other people can analyze the questions, and if they have the same thing, they don't feel as bad. Or if they just want to learn more as well, they can upvote your comment, and if it's really good, I'll pin it so everyone can see it. If you have any clarifications for things I did, or if you have a protocol or regimen that you personally like to do, and that you notice regrowth in, maybe there's like some really niche, obscure products that I'm not very sure about, comment them below. I would love to look into them, see what you guys did, and kind of get some feedback on that as well. But yeah, so I think the outro that we're going to stick with is just the bicep flex and a toodles.